I'm Mrs. C. Leonard Berman, and I was just increasing my serotonin level by ironing my sheets. Now, I iron my sheets before I put them on the bed, and I'm doing that because today I am going to demonstrate how to make a bed. So I will just set this aside. I turn off my iron, move the ironing board, and unplug the iron. Here we have the bed. Now, I have a fitted sheet on this bed, but in really fine sheets, oftentimes the bottom is a flat sheet, and you would then make a hospital corner. But before I get to that, I would like to read a little from the Home Comforts book by Cheryl Mendelson, The Art and Science of Keeping House, my Bible, published by Scribner's. Illustrations by Harry Bates. Copyright 1999. And on page 660, why you should air the bed and the bedroom. While you are sleeping, you breathe about 2 pounds of moisture, along with breath odors and flocks of microorganisms into the air, your pillow, and your bedding. You also perspire and perhaps a cup's worth of liquid and exude skin oils and body smells. And you use up the room's oxygen and replace it with exhausted carbon dioxide. When there are 2 or more people in the bed or in the room, these effects are multiplied. All this explains why, if you sleep with closed windows, the room has a characteristic stale morning smell, although you may not perceive it until you leave the room for a few minutes and return. Unless you leave the bed covers pulled down and the windows open for an hour or 2, the moisture you have left in the bed either does not evaporate or evaporates very slowly, which makes for an environment in pillows and mattress in which dust mites, molds, and other microbial life have more of an opportunity to multiply. Opening the windows lets in new air to dilute the pollutants, microbial and particulate, carry them off, and bring in fresh supplies of oxygen. So that is why we change the bed at least once a week. Now I will put the sheet down. You might be surprised to know that we do not fling the sheet. We open the sheet. Carefully open the sheet and pull it to the top of the bed. Do you notice the center line, the center fold, correlates with the center line of the bed? Open up the sheet, simply lift the top layer, smooth out the sheet. It's really so simple. And then we will proceed with our hospital corners. However, my sister-in-law, who happens to be, well, now she's a nurse practitioner, but she used to be a critical care nurse, showed me this trick. You take the first blanket, open it up. Pull it to the end, the top of the bed, open it up with the center line corresponding to the center fold of the sheet of the blanket. Smooth it out. Now, it's true that it takes a little extra time to fold your sheet in this fashion or your blanket in this fashion, but look at how much time you save. And you know, sometimes, as with hospital corners, you have to spend time in order to save time. That's just like with, I'll get that later. With money, sometimes you have to spend money in order to save money. You pull under the bottom with the two together, under the bottom of the bed, with the first and third finger, you pull up the sheet. Now here you smooth it, and you test it to make sure that they're at right angles. This should be at right angles, and you put this under and you tuck this under here, and then it falls down flatly and you pull it under. It's perfectly made, and then the bed stays made better for the next day. Now for the pillowcase, you take the pillowcase and you fit the pillow into the pillowcase with the seams of the pillow corresponding to the seams of the pillowcase. Now, some people just mash it in to the pillowcase, such as Mr. Berman, which is why I don't let him make our bed. And then you've got this rocky mess to sleep on. A lot of fun that is. So there you have the pillow in the pillowcase. And then for the comforter cover, of course you know that you would do the similar hospital corner on this side as well. You take your comforter, or some people call this a duvet cover, and I've ironed it inside out, and I put the open end at the bottom, and once again I pull it to the top, open this up, now mine is, even though we have a full-size bed, I use a king-size comforter. So that's why it's draping over right now. And then you open up the blanket or the comforter or the duvet. As you did the sheet and the blanket and the comforter cover or the duvet cover before. See how easy that is? It just opens up magically. You reach in And you want the seams to stay together. And you reach in and you grab the inside of this corner, put it to this corner, and turn the whole thing inside out. And you run the top seam of the blanket, the comforter, or the duvet along the top seam of the blanket or cover or duvet cover sheet. Now think of this as a giant pillow. So you don't want it to be a horrible mess inside. You want it to be smooth and flat with the seams and the corners corresponding to each other. So I will reach in, grab the other corner, find this corner. I know it's there somewhere. Grab it and pull down the side. Now I grab the top and I go shake-a, 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 shake-a. And you pull the sheet down, the cover down. I know this looks a lot more complicated than it is, but you pull it down and you start buttoning it up, or sometimes there are ties. I have even seen some that are simply open at the bottom, and that's fine too. And you could make these yourself if you sew two sheets together. I've done that myself. It's really nice. You have a whole match set. Now I purchased this set this way to match the sheets and the pillowcases, because I like my things to match. And button it up. And you smooth it out. I didn't button this right. You button it up. Be careful not to miss any buttonholes. Well, you get the idea. And you smooth it out over your bed. And there you have a perfectly made bed.